Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree. Here today we're going to be discussing some of the characters in the game that I want to see that are free to play specifically, get Zenkai Awakenings / buffs in the game. Sooner or later, eventually, these characters should be getting them. Well, we don't know the order that they have them planned, but now that we've seen our first ever free one in the game, I obviously have high hopes for the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe, of course, if you are new for more content. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, the like goal for this one is going to be 1,200 likes. Please be sure to help us hit that like goal if you guys enjoy the content on the channel. That being said, let me know in the comment section down below for today's question of the day: which free character do you want to see get a Zenkai the most, and also why? Is it because you use that character a lot? Is it because you want to use that character more, you like them a lot, or whatever the case is? Let me know. My answer to my own question is going to be the Blue Trunks. I want Blue Trunks to get a Zenkai, the Legends Road one, and I'll talk about him in a minute because he is on my list of characters that we're going to be discussing. So before we jump in, last thing I want to say is if you guys have not already seen it last week, I'll leave a comment down below where you guys can go immediately to it. It'll also be in the description. Last week, we did a similar discussion topic for summonable units, and you guys had amazing engagement on that video. You guys left me a ton of comments. I read a lot of you guys' comments and stuff like that for that video, tweets and stuff like that. Awesome. Thank you guys for the support. But again, check that one out for some summonable options you probably didn't think about getting Zenkais and stuff like that. So here we go. Red Goku. What is his gimmick? His gimmick is he is going to be an instant transmission spammer, which is green card spam, basically. He also has the ability to get a free vanish gauge. He has a one-time super tanking unique ability, gives him 60% cut one time when entering the battlefield. So he's got some cool stuff going on. Now, what I want to kind of do is use the Zenkai 7 Kid Goku as a baseline. So you guys can see right here that he has this Zenkai ability for Legends Road characters. I'm going to assume that all the Legends Road characters that come out in the future, for example, are going to get this exact same Zenkai boost ability. Just keep that in mind, which is incredible. Once you have a team of these, like 3 or 4 of these and beyond, it's going to be disgusting, by the way. But I think, yes, even though Zenkai 1 buffs you, your abilities and stuff like that, like he didn't have any of this stuff in here. This is, he picks up all this stuff, all the effects and stuff like that on his green card, blue card, main ability. This works for every Zenkai the same way. But the most important thing is when you get to, it's actually 3 and 6, I believe. But anyways, when you get, let's just say 7, you do pick up on 2 entirely new passive abilities, unique abilities, right? These are ones he literally doesn't have. Applies to every Zenkai, by the way. And this is where these characters are nuts, because yes, you can tweak their baseline, but you add entirely new abilities they didn't have at all, right? So keep that in mind. So when it comes to this Goku, I don't really have much I would tweak for him, to be honest. I don't think we're going to get a red Zenkai Goku anytime soon. They could, in terms of Legends Road characters, they could be Zenkaiing them in order, in which case I think the Trunks is next, and then followed by Gotenks? I don't know. Anyways, that being said, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, especially because we already got a red Zenkai Goku, but that's also a Super Saiyan, by the way. But still, we'll see what happens. Anyways, I think his main is fine. He draws a green, he gets a 100% gauge, and he gets plus 20% damage inflicted for 50 counts. That's a long time, and he only needs 15 counts to use it. That's a cool unique, even by today's standards. I'm okay with that. Only thing they could have done more is give him, like, restoration of health or ki in there, and it's just like, bro, that's a lot. Do they want to give him card draw speed? Imagine if they gave him card draw speed in there. Increase card draw speed level by 1 for, like, 15 counts. That'd be disgusting, right? So, the entire first unique hero, Hero's Return, when he enters the battlefield one time, he draws a green card, reduces damage received by 60% for 15 counts, and gets 30% ki recovery for 15 counts. I don't mind this as it is, but again, it's highly defensive. And it's a one-time thing, right? Now, I don't think this is going to change that much, simply because they didn't really change Kid Goku's original 2 Zenkai, or unique abilities that much, right? They buffed it. For example, if you're looking at my phone, Rage Strike Attack Up, I think, was like 15% instead of 25 initially, so on and so forth. They didn't change it tremendously. They just buffed what he already had. So in that capacity, what do we expect? The reduced damage received go up to 70%? I think actually EX-17 has 60 or 70% one time only when he enters the battlefield. So yeah, that's actually very feasible, to be honest. It's also 15 counts. It means even if you get like drop comboed on because you tried to cover change, it still works just for entering the battlefield. That's pretty awesome. Also, he gets the ki recovery. I don't think that's going up from 30. But again, if they want to add in any damage or any increased ally, that's the most important thing for Legends Road characters. If they start getting uniques that buff their allies, like this Kid Goku has, the one at the top of the screen currently, that's when Legends Road characters, aside from the Zenkai abilities, they're going to really age very well in this instance if they manage them by giving them that. So I hope the this Goku that we're reading, the red one, gets something like that similar. But again, I don't think much is changing for his pre-existing uniques. So this other one here, for 3 counts you get a strike damage bonus, 6 counts you get a blast damage bonus, 9 counts you get 20% general damage, and it resets at switch. You guys may recognize this from some of the new units that just dropped. The Trunks and Double Cell all have this type of effect model, right? And then he gets 50% key recovery if key is 30 or lower after using a card. That's from Red SSG Goku and LF Beerus, I believe. Anyways, so what are 2 other ways they can build him? Again, I kind of mentioned it. If he gets, when entering the battlefield, increase allied Super Saiyan / Legends Road characters. That might be busted. Super Saiyan might be busted, but at least Legends Road or Sun Family type characters increasing their, or if they just want to say all allies like Kid Goku does, that's fine too. But increasing their power and also something like key recovery, or even giving him a passive health restoration when he switches out, healing allies and things like that by like 5%, looking at like EX Android 14, for example. They can do things like that. And he doesn't even have to buff their general damage. Just buff like their blast damage or their strike damage or whatever. This Goku's a, no, he's actually not a melee type. I'm looking at the one. This one's a defense type, which is why he gets that super tanking one time. If you want to stick to his model of being a defense type, he needs to have the ability to get more damage cuts for one of these other 2 shadow uniques that he doesn't have yet, by the way, just for the record. He can't have a one-time defensive ability and just not have any more. Another thing to look forward to is the green card. Instant transmission is interesting. Evades the enemy's attacks, excluding certain moves like the Rising Rush, and teleports into close range. For one, at Zenkai 7, I wonder if they remove the inability to avoid Rising Rushes. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. For this Kid Goku, for whatever reason, and I still don't understand how they did it, at Zenkai, just in general, he's able to combo into other stuff, whereas before he literally isn't able to combo into anything but, I believe, a blue card? Anyways, I can show you right now. I actually can't. I don't have him anymore at Zenkai 1. But yeah, like, he's able to combo into other stuff. Or I don't have him pre-Zenkai. Anyways, so that could be a thing that changes. He also reduces his own vanishing gauge by 50%, and inflicts no switching for 3 counts on his own team. And then the cost of the green goes up even further. You can tell they heavily tried to balance this card. They really tried to balance this card. It doesn't even show that it can combo into anything because it can't. It actually pauses and basically would drop combo, and it puts you too close to chain into a tackle. Like, there are ways they can tweak this on Zenkai because they did the same for the Kid Goku. Make it combo into this or that. At least get rid of some of the side effects that are negative, because it's very negative to use this, and he gets multiple green cards, right? So that's kind of how I'm thinking about him in general. We'll see what happens, though. Trunks here. So Trunks is very bad pre-transformation. He's very old, so that's why. He's very bad, though, pre-transformation. Transform into Super Saiyan after 10 counts, that's fine. He has a bonus to strike damage when he is a Gohan as a battle member. Please make that at least 40%. That'd be great, especially eventually when Green Gohan winds up getting a Zenkai 2. Then you really have something going for you. Plus 15% to damage inflicted per defeated battle member. That's pretty solid. Make it 20. And plus 30% to own key recovery when a Gohan is defeated. That's fine, to be honest. He's actually meant to be ran alongside the Yellow Future Gohan, so that's kind of... They made this guy with the Yellow Future Gohan in mind, which is obviously why he's a blue unit too. Just so you got to keep that unit in mind in terms of their design choice. His green card is just bonus strike damage. Same with the Masenko. If you don't really tweak him much pre-transformation, if you give him some sort of passive healing, whether it's with a unique or with a main, he's fine. He really needs nothing else. Pre-transformation, he needs nothing else. As you can give him the ability to reduce damage received for a certain number of counts upon entering the battlefield. A lot of newer transformation units do one of those 2 things or both of those things, where they heal or they have cut, right? You can give him something like that to make him more modern, but he doesn't really need much else. So his main ability draws a blue card and also gives him plus 30% to the next blue card that he uses. No, there's a period there. So plus 30% to just general blue card damage for 15 seconds. Make this 50% or 100%. Yeah, I think that's very honestly very possible. 50 or 100 is very possible on the blue card. Keep that in mind. So same type of uniques that he had pre-transformation, but what I will say is he kind of, I think, needs to become more of a crisis unit in terms of getting more uniques like that. And I don't want them to be more specific to Gohan-type characters, right? He has crisis built into one unique entirely. This is literally 15. I already mentioned how that can go up to 25, just like the Kid Goku, or whatever the case, 20, 25, whatever the case is. But again, I don't think he should be dependent on being ran with Yellow Future Gohan anymore. I think that should be an added bonus if you choose to run the team that way, but he shouldn't be dependent on having him defeated. But what they can also do is if he's on like a hybrid type of team or whatever, allow him to passive buff his allies. But again, I think it's very important for these Zenkai units, all of them that are free, by the way, to offer some team viability, right? They all need to do it. So, VEGITO. He's approaching a year old in a couple of months. He has aged very well. He does not need a Zenkai. He's incredibly tanky. He has good healing, and his passive types switch after a certain number of counts and stuff. He's fine, right? He's also a free 14-star that also just so happens to further buff Strike Attack for VEGITO characters. Everyone, including the newest one that just came into the game. While also being a freaking 40% double buffer. A year later, and I don't think any other Z ability really is comparable to this in terms of the way it works. 40 and then another 20 to a character specific. There are some other ones in mind, though. I need to go back and revisit some of them. Like the new Cell that just dropped could be kind of similar. Not as good, though. Brienne's crew, similar. There's some other units in there. So to be fair, it's actually Purple VEGITO kind of similar, too, at 7-star, 14-star, whatever. Anyways, he doesn't particularly need it. The only thing I would see changed for him is just give him more damage. But again, the problem with getting more damage is, dude, like, how good do you want this guy to be? He restores health. He does no switching. He also restores 20% of damage received and also has reduced cost. And then also after a certain number of counts elapsed, he gets damage and an increased card draw speed bonus. And then key recovery. He has sidestep built in. Like, dude. He just doesn't, he hits like a wet noodle sometimes. That's his biggest issue. But it's like, okay, well, that's his only real problem. What do you want to do? You're going to give him that? His green restores key and then also gets rid of all downgrades and conditions. That's insane. Like, he doesn't need much. He's a defense type. Do you make it to where he, if he cover changes in, he reduces damage? That's insane, right? He already has reducing damage. The problem also is, other than output of damage, his base stats are fine for the most part. After, though, his passive type switches to the I'm finally getting warmed up part, he is not able to defend as well. So what you can do is add on another unique after 30 counts or so. I guess we could kind of look at Zenkai Goku Black and the way he functions, because his passive type switches up a lot after he has a certain number of counts elapsed and stuff like that. So I guess that would be a good facsimile. But that's something you can kind of do for this guy. Give him some sort of tanking as well, but really doesn't need much. Gotenks. Another defense type. They really don't know how to do defense types, do they, for the most part? Destroys all your cards and randomly draws 4 new ones. Restores health by 25%. This is a very good main ability. Very good. Very good. All that I will say is also on top of this, give him like 40% key recovery. I don't want that. I want an actual flat, like 40 key or something. Something low. 30 key. Something low. That's perfectly fine, right? He's a sidestep guy. We take a look at the first unique. Increases Arts card draw speed level by 1 for 10 counts when he enters the battlefield. Minus 10 to his blast arts cost for 10 counts when he enters the battlefield. 40% damage received debuff, though. Wait, what? Applies attribute upgrade. Get out of here. Minus 40% of damage received to self for 20 counts when he switched to standby. Huh? This is, wait, what? Applies an upgrade. Minus 40% to damage received to self when he switched. This doesn't. Okay, I get it. This is what, a cut? This is so weird. This is so weirdly worded. I think this is, he gets 40% cut of damage he takes for 20 counts, but it's when he switched out. So you will never get to use this. Because you need to wait the time to switch him back in the first place, and it'll be up for a few seconds after that. If I'm even reading that right. That's weird. I thought it was like a gimmick. Oh, he takes 40% more damage when he switched out. But it's like, it's weird. He needs to switch out regardless. Anyways, minus 20 to his special move cost from the battle start for 45 counts. Okay, whatever. You notice the distinct lack of damage in here? That's all he needs. Damage. Boom. He has card draw speed. He has key recovery. He's got, well, he has card draw speed and reduced card cost, excuse me. He needs key recovery, and he needs damage. If you want to give him actual tanking, that'd be nice, but he doesn't really need much else, right? In terms of the next couple of uniques he can get. All right, Fury Broly for our last one here. Fury Broly has a couple of things that are really good for him. Fury Broly has some of the things that I talked about in terms of wanting for the Legends Road characters to survive and be good in the meta. And let's talk about those here. He has built-in buffs for allies, support type effects for allies, and built-in damage buffs. The problem with his damage buff is, at the time it was good, 5% for 10 counts is just too low. You see my point? It needs to at least be 10, but it's 5 because they give you an extra 5 versus Goku or Vegeta. Make it 15 and 5. Make it 10 and 10. Either way, that's not good enough. And it needs to be when he uses any card, not just a strike card. This is the same unique that Red Gogeta had, and we've seen it redone numerous times, actually. Red Gogeta had it, then this guy had it as an improved type of version, and then Purple Nail got it, and I think a couple other units got it, and they have a way far better version of this same entire unique. It's the same design, right? Just basically buffed. So just go ahead and steal Purple Nails and put it on this guy. Applies minus 20% of damage received to Sagas and Movies characters for 10 counts, and plus 20% of their damage for 15 counts when he switches to standby. This is good. He gives any Sagas character that he switches into a damage cut of 20%. And then also a damage buff of 20% for varying amounts of time, but this is still really good. If you want to make him restore ki by just even something like 20, you know how far that would go? That'd go so far. And if they make these anything like 25 and 25, oh my god, that extra 5% makes a huge difference, right? Let's take a look at his blue here. Minus 50% of enemy sustained damage cut effects when changing cover. This needs to be 100. Just make it 100. Just make it 100. That's it. Upon activation, just make it 100. Plus 20% of strike damage inflicted for 20 counts. Make that just general damage. 20% of damage inflicted. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade. Plus 20% to blast damage received. This needs to stop. This is a way of nerfing a melee-based unit. Making him take blast damage. It is something kind of similar to SS4 Goku. It's not on his green card in particular, but it's fine because SS4 Goku functions a little bit differently with having the strike up type of cards in your deck and being designed to run alongside SS4 Vegeta, who can benefit from the debuffs and they invert, whatever the case is. This doesn't need to be a thing. This needs to just be plus 20% of damage inflicted and then 20% of damage received. That's it. Stop. He also has Feint. Blast Armor and Feint. Cool. Cool. Oh man, that's it. I don't really see much else for him. I mean, if they want to give him key recovery, like I said, that'd be huge for him. And if they also really want to make him good, giving him a unique for entering the battlefield, he doesn't have anything like that. There are uniques that make these characters good. When they enter the battlefield or when they switch to standby, give him a unique that increases arts card draw speed level for 10 counts. Something like that. Restore key, give something like that. Turn him into a sidestepper, like all other melee units are these days. Just do it, and then he's fine. But he has built-in things like Feint, health restoration, support abilities too. He's got the baseline for a character that's really going to still be good afterwards. And after he gets a Zenkai buff, he'd be monstrous. So there you have it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for vibing with me and just listening to the video. I appreciate all the support. And let me know what you guys think. Have an awesome day, and I'll see all of you in the next one.